Hi, I'm Josh, the founder of the Accountability Group, and hi, I'm Josh, vigilantly battling the diseases of addiction and mental health. Real quickly, these readings will be out of order because I am moving on the 29th and have been packing, and it is a pain. So even though it isn't currently up to date, I'm going to get us up to date. I think that's the quickest way that I can explain this before jumping into the readings, because I explained it much longer, and even now I'm taking more time than I need to explain to you that I'm playing catch up. That's all. Alright, so we'll be reading out of Touchstones, and today is August 9th, even though it's actually the 15th. August 9th, out of Touchstones. We must embrace the absurd and go beyond everything we have ever known. Jane Gustafson. We have stepped beyond the limits of our former life and accepted the possibility of the unknown. Many of us have always tried to be rational, to trust only what we could understand or reason through. That attempt served the part of us that lusted for control and power, but it kept us from knowing possibilities and dreams, unknown possibilities and dreams. When we decided to be less controlling, we began to believe in the possibilities we didn't allow before. That is how we let God influence our lives. Perhaps we don't see a reasonable way to a more satisfying job, but we can be open to surprising possibilities. We may see nothing we can do to overcome our compulsions, but we pray for God to remove our shortcomings in God's way. And already we have a new attitude. God, give me the courage to step into the unknown, the absurd, and experience the awakening of my spirit. So, I know some people out there have issue with the capital G word. That being said, I was raised Roman Catholic. I went to CCD. I did the Stations of the Cross. I was confirmed. I went to church every Sunday. But my higher power, beyond God, but my personal higher power, is nature and the universe. And the metaphor that I always use to explain this to people whenever they ask me, they're like, wait, you're Roman Catholic, but like your higher power is the universe and nature? How does that work? Well, it works like this. I can't control the wind. I can see the leaves breathing. I can see the leaves, waving. I can feel the breeze. I can smell the salt air of the ocean. I can see the waves coming in and the wind blowing in my face, but I have no control of it. But I know it exists, I know it's there, but I can't control it. And that's my higher power. That's something that, to me, it clicks. I don't need to have a God moment. I've never had one. I've never had a God moment. I've never had a pink cloud. It hasn't happened to me. I know plenty of people who it's happened to, but it's actually never happened to me. But by allowing myself to, even though I am a cognitive behavioral scientist, I also do have deep faith. And those things don't need to be mutually exclusive. You don't need to be someone like myself who's empiricist leaning and focuses on just the facts. I need data, I need information, I need scientific proof. I need to be able to physically touch it, see it, taste it, hear it, whatever the case may be. I also have faith in the universe and nature, and that has opened me up to all of these new possibilities. I am so much outside of my box. I am not pigeonholed as just an addict or just someone with mental health issues. I am someone who enjoys painting, playing soccer, playing golf, shooting black and white photography, making these videos, watching animated films with like my friends or my family, specifically my mom. I watch a lot of animated cartoons. I literally just took her and watched Minions, The Rise of Gru, or something like that. I think that's what it was called. Anyway, the point is that when we kind of let go of control of what should be, what must be, what could be, it really allows and opens up the world to endless possibilities, because we have to live life on life's terms. 99.9% of stuff is out of our control. So I really love that line that perhaps we don't see a reasonable way to a more satisfying job, but we can be open to surprising possibilities. We may see nothing to overcome our compulsions, but we pray for God to remove our shortcomings in God's way and already have a new attitude. My new attitude has always been one of gratitude, and you'll hear that. It's an attitude of gratitude, and I firmly believe that. So when my feet hit the floor in the morning, I'm grateful to be alive. I'm grateful for the fact that I woke up sober. I'm grateful that my family and friends are around. I am excited about what's potentially going to happen during the day. Sure, I have a list of things that I need to get done. Will I get all of them done? Hopefully, but I might not, because some things might come up. Hey, I'm moving. That's why I'm reading, a reading that is past the current date. Today is the 15th, and I am reading to you specifically from the 9th of August. So I'm already 6 days behind. That's just what happens in life, But yeah, so with that, that's my strength of these programs, is that I can just live on life's terms. The old me would have been so furious that I got behind. I would have figured out a way to do even more, to make even more videos. But, my sobriety comes first. I have to hit my meetings. I have to talk to my sponsor. I have to talk to my grand sponsor. I have to do my homework. I think one of them was an educator or a professor or a teacher in a previous life, because they give me homework that's more than just working the steps. And we're back to working the steps for the umpteenth time. Both my sponsor is experiencing it with my grand sponsor, and my sponsor is doing it to me as well. So our homeworks kind of line up to where my sponsor hands in his homework to his grand sponsor. My grand sponsor goes over it with him, and then my sponsor gives me the homework that he just completed and then goes over it with me. And that's kind of how we're running through the big book and through the 12 and 12 and the steps, kind of in that kind of pattern. And then this trio, this triad, we're all helping keeping each other sober. So I'm waiting until 5 o'clock, which should be here in another 2.5 hours, to find out, okay, all right, which one of you is awake? Because I know one of you is awake, because we're all part of the 5 a.m. club, except I have chronic insomnia. I fell asleep at like 8:30 and I woke up at like 10:30, and I'm up for the rest of the day. My feet hit the ground. I was sober yesterday. The goal is to stay sober today, and I'm fighting for my 24 hours, staying between the guardrails and on my road to recovery, doing the things that I know that work for me. And part of that is these daily readings, or are these daily readings. So I would hope for all of you that you get outside of your comfort zone, that you understand that there are endless positive possibilities that could enter your life today, that life is not always easy in sobriety, but there are always the possibilities for beautiful things to come your way, and that if you're open to them, if you're open to the possibilities of great things happening, they can happen for you. So I hope that for you. I hope that you are open to those possibilities, that your higher power, whether it's God, whether it's the universe, whether it's the fellowship, whether it's whatever you call your higher power, because it is yours. Your sobriety is yours alone. It is not for me to give you advice, to tell you how you should be sober, how you should live a sober life. It's just me sharing my experience, strength, and hope, and what I've done that's helped me in my sobriety. But my sobriety is my own. My sponsor can't dictate how I'm gonna stay sober. My grand sponsor can't, tell me how to stay sober. They might be able to share what's kept them sober. Some of it'll resonate, and I've incorporated that into my program that I work. But not all of what they said is stuff that works for me. So I just explained to them, listen, I have to meditate at least 3 times a day. I meditate for a half hour to an hour in the morning when I get up. I meditate during the day. I meditate at night before I go to bed, even though I have chronic insomnia. I literally meditated from 7:30 to 8 until I finally went to bed. And then I woke up a few hours later because I have chronic insomnia, and now here we are. So I would hope that all of you have a great day and keep yourself open to the possibilities of good things coming your way. But you got to keep your mind and your heart and your eyes open, that there are good things out there and good things are coming your way, and you deserve to have good things come your way as you diligently and intentionally, with an intentional willingness, work these steps, work the program, and work a program that works for you. For some of my friends, it was literally just going back to church, going to church on Sundays, helping out at church. They never stepped foot in an AA or NA meeting, and that has worked for them. You know, I know people who were gold stars who got sober at 20 and have been sober since I've known them. And I'm just like, how did you pull that off in college? Like, I knew you when we were 18 and 19 and what we used to do, and somehow 20 clicked. 20 came and it clicked. It didn't click for me until years later, and it was painful process to get to where it clicked. But now, here we are. I'm talking to you, I'm sober, and you know, life isn't always, you know, sunshine and rainbows, but it is much better than that rabbit hole I was running down before and that dark abyss I was staring at. So with that, I would say, you know, subscribe to our channel, like our videos, and please, 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 this is the biggest one, use the comments section. If you're new, tell us how you're doing. If you have time underneath your belt, share your experience, strength, and hope, and all of us can help keep one another accountable. That's the whole point of the accountability group, and we can hopefully keep each other sober for today. That being said, I also want to reiterate, or at least tell you for the first time, because these readings tend to bleed together when I'm shooting the videos, but on Twitter, I manage that personally. YouTube, I manage that personally. Instagram, I manage that